Okay, good evening ho. Magandang gabi ho sa inyong lahat. Welcome ho sa ating program. Si SONNY LARAGAN ho ito dito sa ating palatuntunang Immigration Corner. Magandang gabi. So, yung mga taong merong konting problema sa immigration o merong concern sa immigration, welcome ho kayo sa programa na ito, no, natin. At kung kayo naman walang problema ho, okay lang. Makinig ho kayo. It's gonna be a happy Thursday para ho sa inyong lahat, no? Dahil kami ho ng ating kasamahan dito, lagi yung happy ang ating dala ho sa inyo. At sana'y nasa mabuti ho kayong kalagayan dyan, no? Saan mang bahagi ho kayo ng United Kingdom at ng buong mundo. No, hindi lang sa Europe, buong mundo. Kung kayo ho nanonood ho sa amin, welcome kayo, kabayan. Okay, syempre, ang star of the show. Ito ho talaga ang pinaka-star of the show. No? Ito ang nagpapa-happy Thursday ho sa ating lahat. At mga kaibigan, hindi ko na pahabain ho. Ang managing partner ho ng Douglas Simon Solicitors, ang ating immigration expert, walang iba kundi si Attorney LIRA Simon CABATBAT. Attorney, good evening.
Hi Sonny, happy Thursday po. And to everyone, no? Kamusta?
Well, okay, we miss you. How was your week? Ganun lagi tanong natin, no? Kamusta ka? Ano bang pinagagawa mo? From last week until the weekend until today.
Yeah, it's funny. I think the older I get, no, the faster the time flies. So it just didn't seem that long ago. So I mean, I suppose not much has happened actually, other than I'm still waiting for my vaccine. I'm not sure when that's gonna come. I'm waiting still for the phone call nga. At saka lumamig, no? So it's the coats are back, unfortunately.
Grabe,
It was spring last time nag-usap tayo, no? It was spring weather. Ngayon, ang lamig uli.
Lumamig uli, no? Nagulat ako. Itong mga past few days talagang nag-heater na naman ako, no? Dahil malamig talaga. It's really malamig. I thought ako lang nakaramdam, no? It went down to mga 4 degrees, 7 degrees. Basta consistent yan everyday, malamig. Itong na mga nakaraang araw, no? But previously, parang maganda, no? Parang, wala nang winter. Parang tapos na, no? So, you're right, no? Talking of what do you call this, vaccines, attorney, pinadalan pa ako ng letter ng GP ko. Asking me, eto nakakatuwa. Di ba nagkaroon ako ng vaccine, when was this, a week ago? 2 weeks ago?
I'm jealous.
Yes. And then, I have a letter I received a letter the other day from my GP. And then, sabi ko, nakasulat doon na, meron ako rito, nandito pala sa tabi ko. Ayan, may letter ako from my GP, no? Ayan, sinasabi lang na, pwedeng, book your coronavirus vaccine appointment now. Sabi ganun sa akin. Pero nakalagay dito, please ignore the letter. If you already have an appointment booked or you've had your first vaccine dose already. Pagkatapos nito, yesterday yata or a couple of days, yesterday yata, tumawag sa akin hindi ko matandaan kung Kingston o St. George's Hospital. Na yun, niyayaya ako for the vaccination. Sabi ko nakatatlo na. First, yung dati ko, and then may tatlo palang opportunity sa akin, no? I mean, ikaw, sabi mo, hindi ka pa na no? Siguro, baka sakali, hopefully soon, makarating sa'yo.
Yeah, did you say yes? For the second one? Or for the first pa rin?
Yes, for the first pa rin. Oo. Yung tumawag sa akin, St. George's, yun, tinanong lang ako, are you available for vaccination? Sabi ko, no, I've already had my first one. Is this the second one? No, this is the first one. Sabi, okay. Well, I've already had mine about a couple of weeks ago. So, andyan na yung vaccination. Sana lahat na tayo ma-vaccinate na. Para at least, no?
Well, next time you get a call, Sonny, pass them over to me. Sabihin mo, there's someone though who's very keen. Itong pangalan niya.
It happened to my partner. My partner had also about 3 or 4 offers. No, nakakatuwa. Sabi ko, wow. Noong panahon naman na yun, just like you telling me now, right, like that, no? Sabi ko, baka naman pwedeng ako sabihin mo dun. Dahil apat na offers siya. She only had one. Ako, nakakatatlo pala ako offers. Yung first one that I had, the second from my GP, and the third from St. George's Hospital, no? It was a call pa, tawag pa, phone call.
Wow.
Which is good, no? Kung ano.
Yeah,
Siguro, tingnan mo,
I'm still
attorney,
jealous.
pag ganun sa akin, baka, can I have somebody in my place? Sabihin ko na lang, no? Ganyan, no? So, yun, titingnan ko. Hindi, I'll try to ask you, kasi kamukha nun. So, that was actually, if I said yes, that would be my place sa St. George's. Pero I said no. So, di ba, nawala yon. So, baka ako pwedeng i-offer sa iba yon, di ba? Like somebody na kakilala ko. Kaya lang, hindi ko alam kung saan ka ba? Are you covered? Saan kang hospital covered? Kingston? Saan ka ba?
Yeah, it would be Kingston. Yeah, I suppose
Oo.
yung pinakamalapit sa amin, Kingston. But at sabihin mo sa kanila, I'm willing to travel anywhere. So, kung nasaan man, I'm going,
Yes, so
St.
everybody
George's,
wants to have it, di ba? Oo,
Yeah,
malapit lang sa St. George's naman, di
Liverpool.
ba? Tuting. Oo,
Yeah,
oo.
anywhere. Sabihin mo sa
Oo,
kanila,
yeah.
it's,
Sige,
yeah, mga
pagka
kababayan
tumawag,
natin, it's, yeah.
oh,
Sa amin.
I'll ask, no? Ito kasi, hindi ko na sinagot eh. Ito, meron akong, nagulat nga ako, may letter. Sabi ko, teka muna, pwede pala yun, no? Pero yun nga, it happened with my partner. It's now happening with me. Siguro, if it happens na meron ka ng vaccination, baka magulat ka, meron na naman second offer, no? Now, you just don't know, no? Hindi natin alam eh. Kung paano, how it is,
Yeah,
how they do it.
Yeah, no, I suppose they just want to make sure nga, that whoever is in line already for vaccination actually goes for it. It could be na they don't get the letter, for example. So no, it's not a bad thing that they're checking. And yeah, as I say, yung mga kababayan natin, if you get invited, you really should jump at the chance, And
Yes.
as I said nga, I think last week pinag-usapan natin, if you can, kung hindi pa kayo naka-register sa doktor, you should. This is not, regardless kung anong status nyo, you should do it. Because that way, you can get your vaccination. Because that would be terrible if you can't get vaccinated.
Right, tama. Yes, malaking bagay ho na pag na-vaccinate na ho tayo, malaking bagay ho talaga yan because somehow we can hasten, our yung normalcy, yung things normalcy natin, back to normal. Although it will take a while, attorney, pero at least, unti-unti nag-open up, 'di ba? Unlike before where, 'di ba? There was a time yung balita nga 10,000 pounds nga ba 'yon, yung penalty na because they broke this, 'di ba? Yung going,
Yeah.
'di ba? Out of your place na malayo pupunta ka, Bawal, you have to localize yourselves, 'di ba? Para hindi ma-spread yung yung virus. So,
Yeah.
so okay. Teka muna. Attorney, it's a happy Thursday. By the way, you can also watch us, mga kaibigan, aside from on Facebook, sa YouTube din ho, no? Kamukha ni Edgar last week, di ba? Kitang-kita mo naman ang yung video mo, attorney, tayo nasa isang napakalaking screen, no? So, ayan. So, you can watch us both on YouTube. If you prefer a clearer, video, then you would go for YouTube. Pero kung gusto, nakahiga lang kayo and you're just watching us through your mobile phones, the nicest thing about this is you can be anywhere, no? Pwede nyo kami mapanood. Ayan. Kung may mga questions kayo, ihanda na ho ninyo, ipasok na ho rin na ninyo para mas mauna hong mabasa kagad, no? Babasahin natin yung mga ilang pagbati, attorney. We have some mga greetings dito.
Please.
Sige, basahin natin. Subukan natin basahin yung mga unang. So we're both on on Facebook and ano ba yan? And YouTube. So okay, ang first na babati sa atin nasa YouTube, attorney. Facebook, I'm sorry. Facebook to, no? Sa Facebook to, tignan natin kung lalabas yung kanyang pagbati. Andiyan na ba?
Wala pa po.
Pakibasa mga attorney, pakibasa nga lang ito ikaw. Ayan.
Okay, si Miss Paner. So this a message from Marian Galicia Paner. Hello, Miss Paner. So sabi po niya, hello po Kuya Sonny and Attorney Lira. At sa lahat, happy Thursday po and stay safe and God bless us po. Oh yeah, no, definitely. God bless to you too, Miss Paner. Happy Thursday po.
Attorney, ano yan nasa Facebook yan nagpasikat ng konti. Pag pagbibigyan natin, di ba? Nagpasikat siya. Andito naman siya sa YouTube. Ayan. Same person.
Wow, yeah.
YouTube, yeah.
So Miss Panier, oh, you're watching up from both. That is impressive. So sabi niya dito, hello
Oh,
po, Kuya Sonny and Attorney Lira. At sa lahat, happy Thursday. Stay safe and God bless. Po, I'm watching from Cheltenham and watching from Facebook and YouTube. I'm
ito,
impressed, Miss Panier.
Ito, pita mo, ito, balik uli siya sa Facebook. Ayan, I'm watching from Cheltenham. Yan,
Wow.
ayan, kita mo. Maganda, mahaba ang buhok. Parang buhok mo, attorney. You have the same,
Yeah. Mas
di ba,
mahaba
length,
pa
no?
ata.
Mas mahaba ba siya? Oo nga, no? Hanggang saan ba
Yeah,
ang
no.
iyong hair, attorney? Hanggang saan yan?
Well, too long now, so it goes on kind of near enough my waist. Then I haven't been able to get a haircut, no? So pumuputi, humahaba.
Ano ba ang standard mo? Nasaan ang standard na, saan ba ang standard length mo sa'yo? Ano ba, may length ka ba ang standard na, pag lumagpas na rito, papagupitan ko na. Ano bang length na ano mo?
Well, I mean, this is probably the longest I've had for a while. No, usually nowhere near nga my bottom actually. No.
Oh, okay.
So,
mahaba, attorney, mahaba.
Yeah, mahaba ang buhok ko.
Mahaba.
Mas mahaba ng buhok ko ngayon because I've not been able to get a haircut since, well, when was the last time they opened, didn't they? Or they closed, tapos they've not opened, no? So it's at least 6 months, no? So,
okay.
yeah.
Yung pangalan nito, yung kaibigan ko si Marites Allen, sinasadya na magpahaba because i-donate niya sa mga yung cancer, yung mga taong may cancer. So yung
Yeah.
pinapahaba niya, tiyempo naman ngayon, pandemic, so hindi siya masyadong nakakapunta sa parlor ba tawag doon? Salon. Sa salon. So pinapahaba niya, papagupitan niya, ibibigay. Pagagawang book siguro for those people with yun nga, may cancer, no? So yan ang kanyang parang gagawin sa hair niya. Sa akin medyo
good
mahaba-haba
idea.
na ng konti rin, no? So, okay. Ito si Susan Francisco. Si Susan Francisco Batumbakal. It's greeting us from Facebook. Nanalo to ng movie pins do sa aking konting pa-contest na parang sa premiere ng movie ng Love or Money ng ABS-CBN. So anong message
talaga?
niya, attorney? Yeah, meron
So
tayong
sabi
bibigay.
so sabi ni Susan, hello Susan. So good evening
hello,
po.
Susan.
Good evening Kuya Sonny and Attorney Lira. Happy Thursday po. Happy Thursday po. Yeah, happy Thursday. Definitely it's a happy Thursday. I'm so pleased to be back.
Yes. We're also pleased to see you. No? It's okay. Right. Ito naman haba na pangalan, attorney. Traveling and Exploring the World with Soul. Sa YouTube, ayan. Sabi niya.
All right. So sabi nga lang niya, good evening. But he doesn't actually say from where.
Oo nga, hindi mo sinabi, no?
So,
Oo.
yeah. Tsaka hindi ko makita ang pangalan niya.
Traveling,
sabi nga lang, traveling and exploring the world
with Soul. Ayun.
Oh,
Galing,
Sol.
no?
Okay.
Soul siguro.
Hello, Sol. Good evening.
haba ng pangalan niya sa YouTube. Okay, sa B, pangalan niya? YouTube din yan.
Yeah, B. Bartlett. Yeah. Yeah. So, hi, B. So, sabi niya, you both look great. Oh, well, thank you po.
You both, yeah, thank you very much. You both look great. So, yan ang ating first na mga pagbati sa atin dito sa ating program, no? So, yes, welcome ho kayo. Okay, we're gonna have a short break, attorney. Ano pag-uusapan tonight, attorney? Anong pag-uusapan?
Domestic workers po. So, the domestic workers, the two types, because I've had a few
two types.
inquiries nga about it. Yeah,
Okay,
so
two
domestic
types.
workers and immigration. Opo.
Ayan, okay. So, domestic workers and immigration. Huwag ko kayong alis, no? At kami ho'y magpapatalastas lang saglit at magbabalik ko kami. Huwag ko kayong alis, saglit po lamang.
Mula doon hanggang ngayon, serbisyong mapagkakatiwalaan, serbisyong maaasahan pagdating sa inyong mga padalang balikbayan boxes. Dito ka na sa Forex Cargo. Sa presyong kayang-kaya ng bulsa, sigurado ka pa sa inyong padala. Forex Cargo. Dahil kailangan makarating. Call 0208-813-7064. O ano pang inaantay niyo mga kabayan? Tayo na sa Forex Cargo.
%, all natural. Tasty. healthy, versatile. 4 unique flavors. Taste a real sauce. Galetos.
Okay, tuloy-tuloy tayo sa ating Immigration Corner on a happy Thursday. Siyempre, kasama natin si Attorney LIRA Simon CABATBAT. Attorney, good evening and
Good evening.
balik ulit tayo sa ating program. And tonight, you're gonna be talking about itong yung tama nga ba? Domestic workers and immigration.
Opo, yun ang topic natin nga
Okay,
ngayon.
yun ang topic natin.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Attorney, take it away.
Okay. Now, so we'll be talking about domestic workers. But before anything, kung meron kayong mga questions, no, ipadala nyo na nga ngayon, so so that we can then deal with it, no. We're inviting you to put in, put forward any questions now you may have to do with immigration.
Yeah.
Now,
At
domestic
saka mag-note sila,
workers-
Attorney. Note-taking na
Yun
kayo,
na
ha? O yan,
Yeah.
nakanote tayo
Well,
already.
actually, especially if you have nga kung either it affects you o kaya meron kayong mga kaibigan, kamag-anak nga who's likely to be affected by this topic, do by all means, take
Okay.
take notes nga, because I'm going to go I'll go into some detail about the two routes, no. Now, one of the reasons why I thought pag-usapan natin domestic workers is I was actually reading an article in the Independent last week. So the article was to do with domestic workers who are in COVID, and how unfortunately some domestic workers are being abused by some employers, by the employers, unfortunately, they're still inviting people and expecting the domestic worker to also deal with those people, even though that puts them at risk for COVID. And for some, unfortunately, there's not much choice because they don't want to lose their jobs. And there's a movement. There's as is usual that the law changes again from how it is now to the old one. So there clearly are quite a lot of people still very, very much affected by this route. So I thought we'd discuss the two types. So ito po. Now, when we're talking about domestic worker route, really there are two possibilities. Now, the distinction is between those who came to the UK on or before the 5th of April 2012. Okay, so 2012, so it's a while ago, no? And those who came after that time. Now, if you came to the UK before the 5th of April 2012, then of course you've been in the United Kingdom for, what are we now? We're 2011, for 9 years. So that means usually, yung mga taong ganoon, they now have indefinite leave to remain, so settlement status in the UK because they've been here for 5 years, but some have not, so it's still worth talking about. The second route is really for people who are coming in now, for example, or those who came into the UK after the 5th of April 2012. Now, for those people, it's much more restrictive, no? So, tingnan muna natin, kung dumating kayo dito, pre-2012, and you're in the United Kingdom as a domestic worker, okay, what are the conditions nga? Now, so unang-una, as I say, you should already have now indefinite leave to remain. But there are a fair few also still na hindi pa sila indefinite, mainly usually because of the English language. Because in order to apply for indefinite leave to remain, like many routes to do nga with employment, kailangan yung pakita you have either satisfy the English language, which is a B1 minimum, and also yung life in the UK, which is actually quite hard to pass, no? Unless you're exempt. So by exempt, normally it means someone whose retirement age nga 65, or somehow you are physically or mentally unable to undertake both the English language or the life in the UK. So, but for those people nga who do not yet have indefinite leave to remain, anong kailangan pakita? Now, the same thing goes for the other one also. So you need to be full-time domestic worker. Full-time permanent domestic worker. Now, full-time is generally meaning 32 hours per week po. No? Now, you need to be employed also as a domestic worker. Now, ibig sabihin, this is quite crucial also, no? Ibig sabihin non, you cannot be self-employed. So, kung meron kang employer, sabi nila, oh yeah, you should pay your own tax, wala kang pakialam doon, and you need to deal with, you need to register yourself to be self-employed. Kung domestic work visa kayo, hindi po yung pwede. If you make an application, self-employed kayo, then that application will be refused. You must be employed as a full-time permanent domestic worker. Okay, so not self-employed. Now, you need to also be able to show that your income satisfies the national minimum wage. Now, the national minimum wage at the moment, as of 2021, for those over 22 years, is £8.91 per hour, no? So if you multiply that by 32 hours in a week, that comes out to be £285.12 per week, no? Before tax. Now, kung living in kayo, you can offset also. You don't need to earn so much because they take into account that you provide accommodation. If you're living in, then the minimum wage is a little bit lower at £8.36. So £8.36 times 32 hours means per week it works out to be about 1,160 per week. Again, before tax, no? So that's full-time permanent. Now, you need to be able to show, how do you prove that? Usually, you prove income by pay slips. If you don't have pay slips, then bank statements. So, doon pumapasok yung pera nyo, no? Now, your employer is also required to provide what's called an Appendix 7. So, basically, it looks a bit parang kontratang itsura. But it's actually not supposed to be, it's not meant to be a contract of employment, but it does ask for various things. Kaya kayo nag-umpisa, anong sweldo nyo, saan kayo nakatira, saan sila nakatira, anong ginagawa nyo. So it does, it provides enough information about the employment. No? So if you are a domestic worker, you entered the UK, stayed in the UK nga, and after the 5th of April 2012, those are the requirements. The great thing about that route is you can apply for indefinite leave to remain, for settlement po. No? As I've said, really a lot of those people, a lot of my clients who came in at about that time nga, now have indefinite leave to remain. Indeed, a lot also now British. Now, but if you are not yet, you do have that possibility. You will be granted a year visa, unang-una, and then you extend it, as long as you're satisfying the rules, as long and you've been in the UK working as domestic worker a minimum of 5 years nga, then you can make an application for indefinite leave to remain, so settlement status in the UK. 12 months after that, you can then apply for naturalization, leading to a British passport. So, and then additionally, great thing with that route is you can apply for your family to join you. By that I mean spouse, so husband, wife, and children under the age of 18. Even though you still have limited leave. So some people think na kung domestic visa pa nga lang sila, they can't apply for their family to join them. If you came into the country prior to the 5th of April 2012, you can. And the good thing with that kind of visa, kung hindi nga sapat ang pera nyo, there is no minimum requirement, unlike a spouse visa. A spouse visa, as you know, required that your income is no less than 18,600 at saka tataas pa kung meron kayong mga anak, no, na kukunin nga dito. So you can certainly apply. Now, more problematic yung mga taong ngayon nga lang sila dumating or fairly recently. So if you entered the United Kingdom, say yesterday, no, what you would have had to show to get that kind of visa is that you're age 19 plus, you work for the same employer for at least 1 year, you work in the same household as your employer, occupy regularly, you plan to travel to the United Kingdom with your employer o yung asawa nila o kayong anak nila. Pagka nandito na kayo, you intend to work full-time as the domestic worker in the United Kingdom in the household that your employer will live in. Okay? And then also, ito importante nga, is you plan to leave the United Kingdom. So, aalis nga kayo dito at the end of the 6 months or at the same time as your employer, whichever sooner. So, kung aalis sila within a week, dahil nandito nga lang silang bakasyon, then you're also leaving the United Kingdom at the same time. And it's the usual thing, you're able to support yourself in the UK without recourse to public funds. I mean, that's there basically, again, is the national minimum wage. Kailangan yung pakita that your income, even though you're coming from abroad, will satisfy the United Kingdom national minimum wage, which as I said is £8.91 from April 2021, kung over 22 na kayo, or £8.36 if you are living in. So it works out to be about minimum 1,160, and if you're not living in, then you're looking at about £1,200. Now, on top of that, yung employer nyo gusto na makita that either British sila, but they usually live outside the United Kingdom. Babalik nga lang sila dito, for example, to visit family or for a holiday in the UK. And they do not intend to remain in the UK for longer than 6 months. No? So they're not coming actually to live here permanently. No? Now, the second thing is they want, if you are, yung employer is a foreign citizen or national coming into the UK, they're coming in for a visit and not, again, without intention to remain in the United Kingdom for longer than 6 months. Now, kung yun ang klase ng visa nyo, ang visa bibigay sa inyo, maximum po 6 months lang. Kung binigyan kayo ng 3 months nga lang, nandito na kayo and you want to stay longer because your employer actually decided they're going to stay longer also, then you can apply for an extension, but no more than 6 months ngang total. You know? Now, that obviously has quite serious consequences. Dahil kung nandito nga kayo, you're expecting that you're going to be in the UK for a long time, then that domestic work visa na sa inyo ngayon, that will not allow you actually to extend. So I often get asked, no, can they extend the domestic work visa? Kadadating nga lang nila, or no, they enter the UK after 2012. The answer is generally you cannot change that type of visa, not as a domestic anyway. And you cannot also change employment, you know? And that those two things are crucial, have been crucial changes and really very unfortunate, no, changes to how we had it before. So those people who entered the UK prior to the 5th of April 2012. I mean, some of you, if you're old like me, you may remember the campaign that we had that led to the change and gave really domestic workers employment rights as should have been the case. But unfortunately, nagbago uli on the 5th of April 2012, and now people are again limited in any extension and change of employment. And as that article pointed out, unfortunately, that is leading to exploitation. So it truly is unfortunate. But if you have this kind of visa, or you're looking to apply to the UK for this kind of visa, bear in mind there are very strict conditions po. But do distinguish between the two, you know? And the second one, the post 5th of April 2012, is clearly a much more restricted type of visa. No more than 6 months. You can't change employment, and you cannot extend in the United Kingdom. Therefore, no indefinite leave to remain.
Wow. Parang ano yan, no? Maximum attorney ng ng parang visitor's visa, no? You're only allowed up to 6 months, or if the employer extends, so kasama ka lang, you're only parang coterminous ka with your employer. If they if they decide, pero pag ganyan na visa, 6 months lang, the employer decided to extend their stay. Ano yan, renewal lang ng renewal?
No, hindi po pwede. 6 months total eh. So,
Talaga
so
6
kung
months
yung
lang.
employer mo, yeah,
Oo.
6 months lang po. So, kung yung employer mo, sumama ka dito, dahil
Mhm.
sabihin natin British nga sila, they want to visit family in the UK, tapos nagbagong plano, sabihin natin, no? Nagbagong plano, they actually decided they're going to stay in the United Kingdom. Um, if you then want to and they ask you to stay in the UK, unfortunately you cannot. Kailangan mong bumalik.
Right. Okay. Wow. So wala ka na under their employment anymore if they decide to stay. Initially, they just wanted to visit, no? And then the maximum that you can stay is 6 months. So be it a British citizen and a non-British citizen, no? Pwede rin. Pareho lang, no? 6 months. So
Yeah,
what
6
led
months po.
what led to this? So prior to the 5th of April 2012, bakit anong rationale behind it? Anong naging dahilan? Bakit
Yeah.
naghihigpit na kasi sila? Ayaw na lang sa immigration, bawasan ang pagpasok ng mga tao?
Yeah, I mean, it was quite a depressing turn of events actually. Dahil I mean, I was involved in the original campaigning to get the government at the time, therefore the Home Office, to change the law. Because before that, mga taong dumadating nga dito, visitor nga sila. And with a lot, they were subjected nga to abuse. Nandito sila, hindi sila binabayaran. And actually, worse than that, I've come across people who were assaulted, or locked in homes, and so terribly treated. And they found themselves in the UK now without a visa. So we campaigned actually. We campaigned that the government changed the law in order to allow people regularization of those who were already in the UK, and then later on for the law to change, to allow them visa in the UK and therefore employment rights. Yeah, and in fairness, at the time, and it was the Labour government at the time, granted the concession, and later on that was changed to become the domestic worker rule. So there, pwede silang pumasok dito, as I say, 5 years nga dito, they can apply for indefinite and they can bring their family in the UK. All that was great. And then in 2012, actually before that, in about 2010, the government was, I suppose it started implementing this, what a lot of lawyers call, hostile environment in immigration. So immigration was not looked at as a good thing. And one of the things nga that they changed, that's why whenever we speak, Sonny, I always, you probably notice lots of things changed nga in 2012, no? And the reason for that is really this, the start or the continuation nga of this hostile environment for immigration. And yung nga, without the one thing that they targeted is domestic workers. And it was really quite, we made, certainly my firm, we made representations. We even started judicial review proceedings because we thought, I certainly felt very strongly that it was not the right move, because it opened again this people to exploitation, and it's happening again. So the rationale is an illogical rationale, really, because unang-una, there are not that many people coming to the UK as domestic workers. And those who have come in as domestic workers, they have 5 years before they can apply for indefinite, and they're required to work. So they were taxpayers in the UK, and they were doing work that was important. So it's a great shame, and I'm hoping, but I don't know that it would necessarily happen. But I'm hoping na babalik nga nila. And certainly COVID has again brought up circumstances, that is certainly leading to a lot of abuse of very vulnerable people who are domestic workers now in the UK, because they can't afford to leave, they can't afford to speak out, and that's especially the case kung wala na nga silang visa. So I'm hoping still that that would change, but at the moment I think we need to I can't see that happening anytime soon. So it's
Oh yes, yeah, okay, yes, yeah, I'm
yeah.
here. Okay. So, okay. Right. Meron kasi tayong mga questions, hindi ko lang no, Remy, teka na inaano ko lang, tina-type lang natin yung mga questions. Oh, by the way, I'd like to say good evening pala, attorney kay Kamar Reman, no? Our very good friend. He's the founding partner of DV Solicitors of our friend Dana Quinto, no? So he's watching us right now. Attorney
He's watching.
Reman, no? Oh yeah, si Kamar is watching us right now. Kamar Reman, no? Mr. Reman. Okay, good evening, no? So mabuhay. I'm looking at some of these. Guys, we're actually on the Filipino TV Europe Facebook page, so I might not be able to flash your messages if you're watching us from Pinoy Radio UK or from the SONNY LARAGAN page, no? We're now moving all of our shows from Pinoy Radio to the Filipino TV on Filipino TV Europe, no? But I'd like to greet our friends. Ma'am Cora Carsola, if you could move to Filipino TV Europe Facebook page, no? And also on YouTube, on the YouTube channel. So, ito, who else? Si Ma'am Cora Carsola, all I can do is just read your messages, no? Ma'am Cora Carsola, teka na, basahin ko lang ito, attorney, ha?
Yes, please.
Oo. Uy, I was supposed to just increase the... Ayan, oo. Ito, si Renato Gemma Akopanda. Hi, good evening po, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny, watching from South End. Uy, bago to, ha? South End.
End. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Si Ma'am Cora Carsola. Ma'am Cora, lipat na ho kayo next time sa Filipino TV Europe, no? Para you can watch us. Please transfer to Filipino TV Europe so that if you message us, we can flash it on the screen, no? Cora Carsola says, hello, Sir Sonny, Attorney Lira, and all. Sorry can't be with you tonight. As my stepson passed away this morning.
Oh.
Wow. Sorry to hear that, no? His wife and
so
sister
sorry.
in Vancouver can go home to Novaliches due to the virus. So August, September pa siguro kami makakauwi, God willing. Wow. Wow.
So
sorry to hear about that,
po.
no? Alam mo naman si Ma'am Cora Carsola, she's a sharer. She's a top fan of our program, no? Okay. Sandali lang, ha? Sige. Yes. I'm checking out the mga questions dito. So Kamar, good evening to you, ha? Kamar Reman, very good looking. He's probably Tom Selleck. He looks like Tom Selleck, attorney, no?
Wow.
Oh, si Tom Selleck, di ba? Tom Selleck, yung kanyang mustache, very good looking yan. So Kamar, good evening. Very successful guy, a self-made man, no? I really salute him. And he always, everyday positive thoughts. He would post mga positive quotes, no? Mga success quotes, motivation quotes. And that which is good for us, no? Because we're in the midst of the pandemic, no? Puro negative, things are all negative. But by having all of these good thoughts and good words and good quotes, no? You're somehow, injecting positivity in our lives, no? Positivity in our lives. So yeah, Kamar, thank you very much, no? May mga greetings tayo rito. Sandali, ha? May greetings tayo. Oh, ito si Edgar Kagahasyan is greeting us. Sandali, ha? Ito nag-coin na word ng mga happy Thursday, happy Tuesday, no? Edgardo Enriquez. Can you read it, attorney?
Yes, please. Yeah. So Edgardo Enriquez. Oh, hello, Mr. Enriquez. So good evening, Mr. Laragan and Attorney Lira. Happy Thursday and keep safe to everyone. Yeah, ikaw din. Yeah, Mr. Enriquez. So keep safe. So I don't know if you've had your vaccine. And
guys, for example, Alvin Lakdaw. Alvin, doon ka manood sa Filipino TV Europe, tapos mag-message ka lang para ma-check natin kung papasok. Filipino TV Europe is actually a Facebook page. Filipino TV Europe is also a YouTube page, so you can watch there, no? Binabasa ko yung kabilang pages natin, attorney, yung Pinoy. I'm reading this from Pinoy Radio UK, yung ating Facebook page before, no? So, ayan. Okay. Hmm, pwede na ho kayo magtanong ngayon. Shall we open the lines for questions, attorney? O
Yes.
teka muna.
Yeah. Please.
Sige,
yeah.
mag-break muna tayo, attorney. Let's have a short break muna. At
Okay, kung mag-break tayo, then yung nanonood, if you can change over now, no? Type in Filipino TV Europe, no? And that way
tama.
makita namin mga comments nyo, please.
yes, if you could move, no? So we can read your comments, no? Para makita natin yung mga tanong ninyo. Kasi pag nasa kabila, hindi ko maifa-flash, no? Pag kayo ay nasa Pinoy Radio UK, if you are on the Pinoy Radio UK Facebook page, I wouldn't be able to flash your questions if you have questions for Attorney Lira, no? So hindi natin maipapasok. Okay, so let's have a short break at magbabalik ho tayo saglit po lamang.
During these trying times, we salute the frontliners who are tirelessly caring for all of us against the COVID-19. To all the courageous nurses, doctors, carers, and paramedics at the NHS, words are not enough to thank you. We at Highlight Express International are here to support you back with a full semester 10% discount when you send your balikbayan boxes to your family in the Philippines. Dahil ang Highlight Express International ay para sa pamilya.
Okay, balik tayo sa ating program. Alam mo, yung aking lalamunan, I don't know, because of the cold siguro, attorney, no? Kaya I need something hot and warm, no? Para sa aking lalamunan, nawawala yung boses ko eh. Parang
Meron-
ano eh.
You have
Wala
tea?
naman, ha?
Meron kang tea?
Yeah, I have tea. Something
You
hot
have
lang,
tea?
anything hot lang. Oh, yung tea na ininom ko para parang wala sa condition yung boses ko for tonight, no?
Oh.
Last week, yung aking ngipin, di ba? Yung sa aking gilid ng tangko, no? Kaya ngayon naman,
Oo.
itong boses ko nawawala. Bakit kaya? Okay, tuloy lang natin yung mga pagbati, attorney, no? Let's continue on with some of those people saying hi to us. So, tama yung ginawa mo when you ask them to, lipat kayo. Sabi yung gano'n, mag-message kayo. Meron na nag-message sa atin, no? Okay.
Oh, good. I tell you what, in the break, ako din, I looked at the Facebook, ang bilis-bilis. So, ito, no? So, so just say, it's so easy, lagay nyo nga lang, Filipino TV Europe, Facebook.
Oo.
So, nandiyan kami. No? So, please do. Kung hindi pa niyo ginagawa, makita namin mga comments nyo.
I'll try to show them how Pinoy tuloy, Filipino TV looks like. Pero, sige, pakibasa lang yun, attorney. Paki-read lang yung ating message.
Message po galing kay Juliet Marcelino. So, good evening, Sonny and Attorney Lira, and all the viewers. Happy Thursday, everyone, and stay safe. Hi, Juliet. Thanks for watching, and watching via YouTube. Yeah.
Yes. Right. Okay. This is our new channel, no. In case you're so at least transfer to this channel, Facebook channel. Ayan. That's it, no? Filipino TV Europe. It's not hard to find. All you gotta do is just type it, no? Filipino TV Europe, and you're actually there, no? Serving the global Pinoy in the UK and Europe. Ayan, no? So Filipino TV Europe, no? Let's basahin natin some of the greetings dito. Nabasa mo na ba kay Juliet? Nabasa mo na, attorney?
Nabasa natin na yan.
Yeah, so that's from YouTube. Now, here's Facebook. Wala siyang mukha lang.
Okay. So, from Felix Escalona, no? Good evening to you both po.
Ayan,
where you Felix, watching from? Felix?
Tell us where you're watching from. Kasi kanina may nag-message na taga, saan yan? South End, di ba? South End. Ayan, eto, next. Attorney, ikaw na magbasa para na-preserve ko yung voice ko.
So, from Rafa, good evening po, Kuya Sonny and Attorney Lira. Keep safe po. Nice to see you, Miss Rafa.
Rafa, si Rafa, taga Dorset area, and a very community leader yan doon, no? May organization yan. Rafa, i-coordinate mo kay Maria Ellis, yung feature ng kanilang ng article ng kanilang organization sa Dorset. It's nice to know na merong, 'di ba, yung mga organizations dito sa UK, at least kilala natin. Makilala ng ibang hindi nakakaalam. Tapos si Alvin Lacdao from Pinoy Radio UK. You ask him to transfer to Filipino TV UK. He's now here. Europe, should I say? He's now here.
Oh, wonderful. Salamat po. Alvin Lacdao. So, good evening. Mabuhay po kayo watching in Filipino TV Europe. Salamat. Thank you for changing over. Well done.
Please share this. This is for all of us, no? All the programs here, Attorney Dana's program on a Tuesday, Attorney Lira's program on a Thursday, my program, no? Soon we're gonna have more programs dito, kaya i-share ho ninyo. Let's make it our home. Ito yung parang we've been your social virtual bubble for the past so many months, diba, Attorney? And you've been welcoming us in your homes. But let others know, no? Let them know about the good news that we have this thing happening. It's a public service that we do. Attorney Lira, Attorney Dana, ako, kanilang alalay, kasama nyo rito sa show natin. So, ito ho. Yan. And you guys are sharing with us, making our days, no? It's a happy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's a happy channel, di ba? Ito ang ating channel na to, di ba, Attorney?
Yeah.
Yan. Ito yung isa sa mga defenders mo. Yan.
My favorite. I'm going to have to start paying you as my agent, Mr. Duay. You're doing so many things for us. Salamat po. So, magandang gabi, Attorney Lira C. And legendary Laragan and all of you. Yeah.
Pag may nang away sa atin, aawayin yan. Di ba? Yan ang ating mga supporters. Mahusay, sharpshooter pa yan, Attorney. He's very good with guns. Yeah, really, it's true. He's good with guns.
He's very clever, actually, Mr. Duay. No, I mean, he can do. I mean, he's very technically advanced. Put it that way. So, it's the.
He's watching us from his, diba? From his very big screen. Parang you and I, people who are watching us on their mobile phones, for example, nakahigaan siguro sila. Di ba? Maliit lang yun.
Yeah.
But si Edgar Duay and family, while sometimes eating dinner, they're watching, not sa tiyempo baka dinner time nila, and they watch us, no? So, thank you, Edgar, no? And he's a funny guy din. Tawag dito. Masayahin yan. Ito.
Yeah, and he's a very clever chap, no? Ito mga
very clever chap,
comments nga niya. So it's always great fun to have him around. And yeah, and I'm still very impressed with the cinema screen. Ang laki-laki.
Oh.
I don't think I've seen such a huge TV.
Well, yeah, tsaka watching us from TV sets, no? So people now actually anywhere in the world can watch us via their TV sets, no? Via YouTube. Okay, or if you have Chromecast, you can watch us kung may Chromecast kayo and you're on Facebook, you can just send the show, the picture, the video onto your big screens, no? Pwede yun, attorney. Kaya lang, medyo kailangan, kung di ka sanay sa mga tech, sa mga gadgets at setups, mga settings, baka magkaroon ng problema. Pero yan, mga katulad ni Edgar Duay, no? Na setup niya na, no? Ito yung ating favorite attorney. Pag hindi ko alam kung sinasadya niya, kung pinalalaki niya yung pangalan natin sa tuwa niya, o talagang galit lang sa atin, no? Ayan, baka basa, attorney.
Hindi naman. Yeah, so Emmeline Rafael. Yeah, good evening, Sonny and Attorney Lira. Oh, yeah, I think it's a different photo, no, Miss Rafael? I think it's different. It's nice.
Oo, may seconds siya. Sabi niya, ayan.
Okay. So, sorry, I don't have my glasses. So, naging ping ako.
Ngayon pa lang, siguro. Ngayon pa lang.
Nakapasok sa YouTube. Pasensya na. Okay. No, YouTube.
At the same time,
Mr.
at the same time, subscribe na kayo. Mag-subscribe kayo kasi makikita namin kung sino yung mga bago nagsasubscribe sa Facebook page sa YouTube. Yeah, makikita yan. It comes out, no? Sila Rudy Librojo, we want to thank them. Edgar Duay, yan ang mga unang, Susan Batumbakal, yan, yung mga yan. Mga makikita mo names sila, they subscribe do sa ating YouTube channel. Ayan. Okay, so okay, may tanong. May tanong na rito. Pwede na ba tayo magtanong siguro? Magtatanong na tayo. Sige.
Yes, of course. Opo.
Pasadaan ko na muna itong mga questions. Yung mga greetings muna, attorney. Tapos we'll go to the Okay, ito si Lorraine. Sige. Hanggang sa kay Bunso. May Bunso dito. Sige. Pakibasa lang, attorney.
Okay. So, there. Lorraine Cantos. So, sabi po ni Lorraine, hello, March po. Hello, attorney. And Kuya Sonny. Happy Thursday, everyone po. Oh, I love your photo, Miss Cantos.
No, bakit March? Sinabi ko ba February or ano? Bakit kaya sinabi niya March? Hello, March po. Okay.
Well,
ito si Felix Escalona, nagtanong ka. When I read his message, sabi mo, tell us where you are.
Yeah. So, Felix Escalona, watching us from Slough, Berkshire.
Okay. Ito, ayan.
Yeah.
Yan,
nice
yan.
Okay, so from our favorite Mr. Duay, teka, sunduin ko lang sila sa kabilang channel.
Kasi kunyari PRUK yan. Or Edgar, punta mo rin sa SONNY LARAGAN, no? Baka nandun, baka may message, hindi ko pa nakita. Pero Pinoy Radio UK, I saw some messages like Kamar, no? Message is he always teases me, no? Sabi niya, ano ba, the coolest, most romantic presenter, no? So,
absolutely.
Kamar, good evening.
Yeah.
This is that's the reason why we're so thankful. People not only from the UK, parang people are hearing about us from other countries. No, ito meron tayo from YouTube. Ang cute ng pangalan, Panganay Bunso.
Panganay Bunso. Okay, watching from Sardinia, Italy. Wow.
Yan, watching from Sardinia, Italy. Okay. Yeah. Sige, we're gonna start now with yung ating questions, no?
Sure.
If you have questions, you can punta lang ho kayo, go to Filipino TV Europe para we will be able to pick up the question and flash it on the screen, no? For the benefit of everyone, of all the viewers, no? So, okay. Meron tayong ito first question natin, attorney. I don't know kung ito. Immigration question. Okay, sandali ha. Ito na first question natin. Ano po ang pinakamadaling gawin para makapag-employ ng Filipino cook from the Philippines? Remy who or how or I don't know how to pronounce that, no?
Remy how.
Remy who, how? Remy, good evening, yes.
Yeah, so cook from the Philippines. So ang kailangan niyo pong tignan is really now yung kababago nga lang is now called skill worker route, no? That changed on the 1st of December. So it's under the points-based system po. Problema nga lang doon, well, it's not really necessarily a problem, but it's not cooks are not on the shortage occupation list, no? So unang-una, go to the go and have a look nga if what the code is, but they're definitely not on the shortage occupation list. Pangalawa, actually, if you're an employer, kailangan may lisensya po kayo. You need to have sponsorship license nga. So kung wala kang sponsorship license pa, then you need to make that application before even looking to employ anyone nga from the Philippines as a cook or as an employee in whatever capacity po. So unang-una is you need to see if you can get nga a license, a sponsorship license po. And you need to, of course, consider whether it's something you want to do generally. But it will come under the skilled worker route, under the points-based system.
No, araw, attorney, madali because madali daw makakuha. Because yung kaibigan ko and even everybody's doing it. Indians, pati Filipinos, they were like Josephine's restaurant, no, nagawa nila yan, nagagawa nila. Pero nung later on, parang kailangan yung sweldo malaki. Kasi dati, hindi naman kailangan malaki, di ba? Hindi mo naman kailangan i-disclose kung magkano as long as kailangan mo, pinarating mo. Pero lately, mataas na yung sweldo ng mga chefs. Kailangan kasabay ng mga cook dito. Pero cook ito, no? I mean, chef yan, di ba? In a way, chef.
Yeah,
diba?
chef. So, I mean, the main difference really is dati, they came under the shortage occupation list, no? So there was a shortage of that type of employment. But partly, I'm sure, because now of the pandemic, they're no longer part of the shortage occupation list. So they need to earn up to a certain level. So that's why it's certainly changed quite a bit from, say, only a few months ago.
Remy, I know that you're watching because if you review attorney yung message na yan, this question came from that page sa Pinoy Radio UK. So if you could transfer to Filipino TV Europe, no? Ito yung Filipino TV Europe. Go to the Filipino TV Europe Facebook page. No, ayan. Diyan ka ngayon mag-message sa show, ha? Para kasi first of all, Filipino cook what, to employ sa bahay, or is this parang ano ba yan, Filipino cook sa isang restaurant na isa-set up mo or sinet up mo na?
I assume you mean diba? Restaurant nga. So yes, so unang-unang po, meron ka ba lisensya? And as I say, the next thing really is would the employee satisfy the skilled worker requirements, no? That came into play on the 1st of December. So nagbago na nga din.
Okay, all right. So ayan, first question natin from ano pangalan niya kanina? Rachel Brew. Who? Ano pangalan na?
Yeah.
Remy
ata, no?
Remy,
Remy, how, I think.
How,
Guro.
okay. Paano ba pag-pronounce yan? Remy, sorry, baka na-murder namin kasi parang slow, di ba? Slow, di ba? Hindi naman sloof. Cuff, to cuff. Cuff, di ba? Hindi naman ku. So, how, who, huff. Baka hindi pa natin alam kung how you pronounce it. But, H-O-U-G-H. Okay, next question, immigration question is this, no? From Anne Rachel Tan. I'm currently on tourist visa. Attorney, ikaw na magbasa para ma-preserve yung aking magandang boses. Sige.
Happy to help. So this from Anne Rachel Tan. So I'm currently on a tourist visa and due to leave sometime next month. I am now together in a long distance relationship with a British citizen, and we are looking at options for me to be here in the UK more permanently. Options po. So 1, fiancé visa, only good for 6 months. 2, partner family visa, good for 30 to 33 months. Our concern po is, since long distance relationship kami, we don't qualify on one of the requirements, that is to live together for at least 2 years for this. Any advice po? So this is a question nga from Anne Rachel Tan. Now, I'm so pleased you asked that question nga, Ms. Tan, that it's actually a scenario that I'm quite familiar with, and a lot of people, especially mga Pinoy, encounter. So, if you are in a relationship nga, I should say. So you're in a relationship with a British citizen. Dito siya nakatira yung partner mo. Now, you are coming into the UK to visit, and he may also be going to the Philippines nga to also visit you. Now, the reason why, I think part of the reason why this scenario has become even more popular nga is because of COVID. Whereas in the past, it's not a problem to visit each other. Now, with COVID, the travel restrictions has meant a lot of relationships have been put on hold. They can't see each other, because they can't travel. They can't travel. Yung partner niyo kung dito sa nakatira can't travel to the Philippines, and those ones in the Philippines can't really travel to the UK. So a lot of people now thinking, well, if we want to take, what do we do, to get to be able to see each other? And the next thing they look at is, well, if we're going to, what options are there to make it, to give us more permanency, especially if you're in a serious relationship. So so dealing with the first question, you're right. You can apply to enter the United Kingdom as a fiancé. Now, and you're certainly correct that it's if you get a fiancé visa, it will be for 6 months. However, the fiancé visa also requires na dito kayo kakasal. But pagka kinasal na nga kayo dito, that means pwede niyong palitan na yung fiancé visa to that of a spouse. So although 6 months nga lang muna ang visa makukuha nyo, the reality is, hindi mo naman kailangan ng bumalik. You can then get married in the United Kingdom and then change the visa to a spouse. Yung nga lang, kailangan nyo pa rin pakita nga that you are actually for fiancé also na the English requirement is not an issue, which is only A1 naman. Yung income nga niya, nung boyfriend o girlfriend mo nga dito, that is no less than 18,600. Meron kayong accommodation. The relationship is genuine, for example. And initially, that you want to enter the UK as a fiancé and therefore marry in the UK. And later on, kung papalitan nyo sa spouse, that you of course then married. So do not dismiss the fiancé route, because although 6 months nga lang ang una, pwede nyong palitan yon to a spouse visa. Now, you're right again when you mention nga the unmarried spouse route, So, but that's not probably also applicable really to you. Dahil kung hindi nga kayo nagsasama, and that's often the case, binibisita mo siya dito, binibisita ka niya sa atin, that means that you're not able to show na talagang nagsasama nga kayo for 2 years. So, if you make that kind of application, kung wala kang ebidensya nga na talagang nagsasama kayo for 2 years or indeed more than that, and they will require nga quite good supporting evidence, it means that application will then be refused. So sayang nga lang. And then hindi nga lang sayang pera nyo, sayang it also means that you have then an immigration background, which may cause a problem later on. Now, so ang sagot is really, so yung situation nyo, it's probably best if you apply to enter the UK as a fiancé, and then pagka nandito ka na, then marry in the UK. Hindi mo kailangang umuwi uli, because you're coming in to marry in the UK and then swap it over to a spouse visa. Now, bear in mind though, pagka fiancé visa ka, for that 6 months po, hindi ka pwedeng magtrabaho dito. You can only work once you've swapped it to a spouse visa. This is of course assuming na you are able to marry in the UK. Now, it becomes even more problematic, and I certainly come across these types of situations, when you can't marry in the UK, dahil sabihin natin, ikasal ka na sa atin. In that case, you would need to see if you can satisfy the 2 years requirement. If you cannot, then you may need to look at another option, which is really exceptional, making an application on human rights basis, exceptional circumstances, potentially. But it's not really a route that's easy by no means. So you should seek advice if you have that additional problem na hindi kayo pwedeng magpakasal nga dito.
Okay. All right. Sige, may question pa tayo, attorney, ito, pa-flash ko, So, at least naliwanagan ka. So, better route option, fiancé visa. Mas
Opo.
okay,
Fiancé.
Ayan.
Yeah.
May nasabi siyang 30 to 36 months. Ano ba yung mga family visa?
Yeah.
Tama ba yung
so
sinasabi niya?
the
Tama ba yung option
spouse-
na yun? It's really
yeah,
one of the
actually,
options? Okay.
Yeah, no, it's correct. An unmarried spouse, or indeed a spouse, would be granted a visa spanning 30 to 33 months. No, but as I say, don't look at the time, the time period that you would get. It's more important that if you're looking at permanency in the UK, look at the full requirements nga. So there's no point making an application as an unmarried spouse kung wala nga kayong ebidensya na talagang nagsasama kayo for minimum of 2 years. Because the application will just be refused nga. Better to look at the fiancé, kahit nga mas maigsi lang muna ang bisang bibigay sa inyo, pwede nyo palitan pagka nandito ka na. And I think in your case, yun ang mas magandang route.
Pero attorney, okay, sige. Magandang route nga ang fiancé visa. She's asking ko anong options, fiancé or yung partner family visa. Doon sa fiancé visa, di ba, requirement pa rin yung income nung lalaki o babae, as the case may be, na kukuha sa'yo, no?
Yeah.
Kung hindi mag-satisfy, yan ba nandun pa rin ang requirement na 18,600 nga ba yun?
Yeah.
Let's just say, the guy, okay, in love sila, nag-message, punta ka rito, dumalaw, pero the guy hasn't got the capability of putting up the 18 or having that 18,600 monthly income. Paano yun? Hindi rin successful yun, di ba? The option is for the guy to beef up his earning capacity, di ba?
Yeah, no, yun na nga po. Kung hindi nga sapat, sabihin natin ang income nga under 18,600 per year, no? That's before tax though. And a few things to remember. So unang-una po ito. There's a temporary concession at the moment that's introduced by the Home Office because of COVID nga. So sabi doon, if your income fell, no, so part-time ka na nga lang ngayon, or indeed if you're furloughed, so you're only getting 80% of your income, hindi nga sapat yung income to satisfy the 18,600. Now, if that happened nga because of COVID, but last year, no, you actually would have satisfied the income requirement, then they would still consider you as having as satisfying the income. But that will not. That's a temporary concession. So if you're looking to apply, then better to apply na nga ngayon rather than leaving it later when that concession may well go. So yun ang unang tignan nyo. Now, it is possible, no, even though mga tao may benefits, you can, but only certain types of benefits. So for example, PIP, no, personal independent payment nga. And generally, those are benefits nga na are given to people that they need assistance because of their health situation. Now, another possibility is you can make an application nga on human rights grounds, on exceptional circumstances, but truly doon kailangan pakita talagang exceptional, no? So ibig sabihin may sakit kayo, o may sakit yung boyfriend mo dito, o yung girlfriend mo nga dito, they can't be expected nga to work because of the health reason or indeed disability, and they don't qualify for the benefits nga that that would still satisfy the income requirement. So those are things still that you can look at. Now, if you are if he or she is healthy, yung nga lang the income did not go down because of COVID, it's just kulang nga, then the best thing to probably do is just get another job, no? You can put jobs together. Hindi nga lang kailangan isa. So in fact, you can even combine employment and self-employment. And of course, you can also combine savings po, no? It's just they expect a lot of savings. Now, from memory, and I would need to check this out, but if you're earning, say, 15,000, ang kailangang savings na makikita nyo is 25,000 pounds. I mean, that's huge, no? If you have no income, I think the savings requirement is something like 65,000 pounds. So not many people are in that fortunate position. But some people are.
Kaya ako nabanggit siya, attorney, kasi maraming cases na ganyan, no? Hindi makarating yung babae. Pinakasalan na maski sa Pilipinas o ano, because of that income problem, you know. Ilang beses na marami ng mga ganyan, mga love stories na in love yung lalaki sa babae o si babae kay lalaki, pero hindi madala-dala. Hindi makarating dito, no? Wala nang alternative
Yeah,
to,
yun
attorney,
na
no?
nga.
Wala nang alternative kundi kailangan lakihan ng sweldo, no? Taasan ng sweldo.
Yeah,
no?
so laki ang sweldo or see if you can argue nga COVID, no?
Oo.
So last year, okay naman yung sweldo mo it's just because of COVID na bumaba. Last resort really is yung exceptional circumstances. But it is unfortunately a situation that I hear a lot more at the moment about because a lot of people have been made unemployed, no? Pero yun, kung nawala nga ang trabaho nyo, because of COVID, and let's face it, 90% probably of people at the moment who've lost their jobs is because now of COVID. Then you can see if this temporary concession works for you. So, kung sapat ang pera nyo dati, hindi na nga lang sapat nga ngayon because you're furloughed o nawala ang trabaho nyo, then see if you can make use of the temporary concession. No? But do it now rather than later.
If they can show that previously they had, this good income, fine. Pero let's say kung pre-COVID at saka COVID time, talagang hindi umaabot sa 18,600, may hirapan. Simple as that.
Absolutely. Simple as that. So in that case, they need to get another job. So madagdagan nga.
Okay. So maski anong love sa kanya ng lalaki, kung talagang hindi aabot sa sweldo, walang magagawa. Second pa, kailangan pa ng accommodation yata, di ba? There has to be a proof of accommodation. Di ba?
Yeah. So meron accommodation is kung nandito naman siya nakatira, chances are he or she would at least have nga a room, no?
A room.
So
Okay.
as long as that room is something that is a place that you and he would occupy nga solely, that's fine. So you don't need a flat na mag-isa nga lang kayo doon. You certainly don't need a house, no? It can be rented, it can be you own it. You can be living with your parents, no? And a lot of younger adults are certainly at the moment, especially, living with their parents. In that case, kailangan nyo nga lang sulat yan kay nanay o tatay, no? Na pwede kayong tumira doon, pareho.
Okay. Ayan. Okay, ito question kay, pakibasa nga, attorney. Kay
Opo,
Felix
yeah. So-
Escalona. Yeah.
Basahin
din the rest of it.
Felix. Yeah, so Felix Escalona, ang question po niya, good evening, attorney. My question is, I'm having spouse visa. She is British citizen po. Kaya next year, July,
Siya next year, July po.
doon ako for indefinite leave to remain. Pwede po ba akong
mag-exam for ILR and life in the UK as soon as or kailan po as much as possible ako pwedeng mag-exam?
Yeah. So at the moment, Felix, there's no hindi mapapaso yung life in the UK. No? So if you took the life in the UK 2 years ago, okay pa rin nga ngayon. It's the English language that often presents a problem. So kung gusto mo na nga mag-aral ngayon, so basically you're revising together, which is actually not a bad way of studying, no? Because then you can ask each other questions nga. So no, absolutely, you can study now for indefinite. And ang maganda nga, yung life in the UK, kung gamitin mo yung para sa indefinite na nga ngayon, pwede mo din gamitin yung for the British for the naturalization application pagka magpapasok ka na. Dahil hindi nga mapapaso.
Okay. All right. So ayan. Hope satisfied ka dyan, Felix, no? Meron pa tayong isang tanong dito, attorney. Ako na siguro hindi siguro mako-kompleto, pwede mo lang basahin. Siguro
Okay,
may
so,
nagpapatanong sa kanya on behalf of somebody, no? Ito na siguro ang last
that's
question
fine.
natin,
So,
attorney, for the evening, no? Sige, go ahead, please.
So Lorraine Cantos, so sabi po niya, attorney, kindly ask po, what if student visa ang entry here in the UK for almost 10 years na po dito, and working as a private carer and the
Working as a private carer and the employer is willing to help to sponsor him. Posible po ba, please? Posible po ba,
Yeah.
please? Ayan.
Okay.
Private carer.
So ito po, so Lorraine siguro, I'm assuming and that itong scenario, no, na dumating nga siya dito, unang-una, estudyante siya. Tapos, dahil 10 years na nga, no, I suspect wala na siyang visa ngayon, no. So kung wala na nga siyang visa ngayon, ibig sabihin overstayer na siya. Dahil hindi nga siya nag-aaral na and working now as a private carer. So, yung tanong mo, pwede bang tumulong nga yung employer? The quick answer, frankly, is no. That's a difficult. That probably not is the quick answer to that. No, dahil ang problema nga doon, you're not supposed to employ someone who does not have leave to remain in the United Kingdom. That is what is potentially facing the employer. Now, of course, it depends also on the situation. Because certainly, I've had cases where yung kliyente ko nga had a precarious immigration status in the United Kingdom, but close na nga siya dun sa employer, and yung employer nga malala ang sakit. And certainly, in the past, I've been very fortunate in successfully applying. And sometimes, even if the application is not successful, that we've been successful in appealing. No? So, but if it's the case nga na private carer siya, hindi naman ganong malala yung sitwasyon nung alaga nga niya dito, or maybe not even been working for too long for that employer, then chances of succeeding on that basis, on a kind of exceptional human rights type application, is slim. No? Now, separately, and certainly I come across this, but not very often, na yung tao came in as a student and estudyante pa rin, no? So has had leave to remain continuously for the last 10 years. Now, if that's the case, yung kaso niya, na 10 years na nga siya dito, may visa siyang tuloy-tuloy, no, for that time, then he can actually apply under the lawful 10-year route. So it means that because he's been in the United Kingdom for 10 years, continuous leave to remain in the United Kingdom, kung ano man ang, kahit anong nga niya ngayon, sitwasyon na nga ngayon, estudyante siya, for example, he can now apply actually for indefinite leave to remain under the 10-year lawful residence route. Pero yun nga, that's where you need to, the emphasis there is lawful. So kailangan tuloy-tuloy po ang visa.
Tuloy-tuloy ang visa as a student? Hindi
Yeah,
nga. Pumasok ka sa student, siguro, nag-overstay na, naghanap ng trabaho, naging private carer. Ganun na ang
It
sitwasyon
could
niya.
be, but I've actually come across, you don't come across them very often now, but certainly I've had cases in the past na tuloy-tuloy nga yung visa as a student, where they, for whatever reason, they just kept studying in the UK. But it's very rare now that you come across those situations, no? It could also be estudyante nga pagpasok niya dito dati, tapos changed over to something else, maybe even a spouse or indeed work. So kung tuloy-tuloy ang visa, kung ano man ang status na nga niya, pero kung tuloy-tuloy, then it's the 10-year lawful residence route actually that he should look at also.
Oh, okay. So I hope that satisfies yung yung na-satisfy yung tanong ni Lorraine ba? Lorraine nga, di ba? Lorraine.
Yeah, Lorraine Cantos po.
On behalf of a friend, siguro, a friend, no? Ayan. Attorneys, ayan, may tinatanong siya. Yeah, so sana ano tawag dito? Siguro nagpapasalamat si Felix Escalona, no? Ayan. Sabi niya, thank you po so much, attorney and Sir Sonny. More power to both of you. Thank you very much, Felix. Babuhay ka, no? Merong nanonood si Ann Ashton, nandun siya sa Pinoy Radio UK. Good evening po from Cheshire. Ann, next time dito ka na manood, no? Dito ka mag-message, no? Sa Filipino TV Europe, no? Andito tayo ngayon, lahat ng mga messages na binabasa namin at fina-flash sa screen, galing dyan sa Facebook page na yan, no? Filipino TV Europe, no? Yan ang bagong tahanan natin ngayon dito sa dito sa may ano ba tawag dito? Sa may sa ating program. Okay. Ayan. All right. Well, sabi ni Lorraine Cantos, attorney, thank you po. Ayun, maraming salamat. Ayan, ang ganda ng kanyang
wala pong anuman, Miss Cantos. Yeah. Yun nga. I mean, actually, just on that, no, following on that, Miss Cantos. So, kung meron tayong mga kababayan, matagal na nga sila dito, and they've just heard me say about the 10-year lawful residence, no? So, ibig sabihin, kailangan may visa tuloy-tuloy. Kung wala na kayong visa, then you need to look at what's called the 20-year long residence route, no? So, ibig sabihin, yung nga po, 20 years po, kailangan yung pakita. So, kung titingnan nyo nga yun, or you think it's applicable to you, ang gusto kailangan yung gawin, put together any and all documents nga to show na matagal na kayo dito. So, start really with the passport, kung nasa nyo pa yung passport nyo. Kung meron kayong mga remittance slips, ganoon, o kaya mga galing sa doktor, kahit ano man, huwag nyo itapon, no? Tayong mga Pinoy, sometimes, I come across this all the time. No, it's just, we're a bit ruthless with our documents, no? You don't really want to carry it around. But sometimes, importante po, huwag niyong itapon, no?
So may sa magandang side, okay yun. Minsan kasi nag-hoard yung tao, ang dami mong kalat So ulit, sinasabi mo huwag itapon. Anything to prove.
Yun nga po. So, kung wala kayong status, actually, kahit may status nga kayo muna, may status kayo ngayon, no? So, sabihin natin, 4 years na kayo dito, o 2 years na kayo, estudyante nga kayo dito. Tapos, meron kayong maleta, nandun yung mga documents nyo, you don't really want to keep it anymore, you don't think it's important. Please, no? Wag nyo itapon, no? Because it could be na kailangan nyo yun in 10 years time to show na you've been in the UK since 2021 na tayo. So you've been in the United Kingdom since 2019, sabihin natin, no? To show lawful residence for 10 years o kaya 20 years unlawful residence in the United Kingdom. So please wag niyong itapon. Put it in, organize it nga, no? Lagay niyo in petsa, no? Put it in folders, put it in boxes, no? Put up with having to carry it around. So, importante po, kung meron kayong mga bank statements, meron kayong mga bills, mga remittances, nandun yung pangalan nyo. At saka, kung nasaan man passport nyo, just keep hold of it. Kahit paso na po, no? Huwag nyo itapon.
Okay, so attorney, you were mentioning about the 20 years stay, no? Okay yun. Pero yung sa 10 years, kailangan continuous as a student yun. Yung sinasabi mo 10 years. Pero other than that, hindi pa pwede. Other than that, wala yung mga 10, hindi apply in 10 years. Kunyari, nag-student visa ng 2 years and then the next 7, 8 years overstaying. Hindi papasok ang 10-year rule doon, no? Wala na.
Yeah,
okay.
You're exactly right, Sonny. So, yung pong 10 years, it's really to do nga with lawful residence in the United Kingdom. You know? Unless, I mean, when we mention nga 10 years, there's also 10 years to do with children. So, kung pinanganak dito yung bata, dito na siya lumaki. Wala siyang visa dahil mga magulang wala kang visa. Dito siya lumaki. Tapos 10 taon na siya ngayon. He can actually apply, yung bata, or you can apply for the child, of course, for what's called registration. And pagka na-register na siya dito, he actually will receive a British passport. Pero kailangan nga, dito siya pinanganak, no? And has been in the United Kingdom for the 10 years. And you should be able to prove that. With children, it's not so difficult. Dahil usually, nasa eskwela nga sila. So, but yeah, that's the 10-year route to do with children. Kahit walang status po yung mga magulang.
Pero yung mga estudyante, yung mga bata, let's say, okay, pinanganak dito, they were able to overstay, tapos mag-aaral yung anak. Nakakapag-aaral ba ang mga bata? Hindi ba hinahanap sa eskwela na yung status ng mga parents?
They should not. There was a move by the government nga to ask schools essentially to police immigration, but that's so far being there was a lot of criticism of the government Dahil nga, of course, importante nga na hindi matakot yung mga magulang na ipasok yung mga bata, no? And the government has had to listen, actually. So, schools should not now ask, no, kung anong status nyo as parents. So yung mga bata, so usually they start here at about age 4, 5 years old nga. So wag kayong matakot kung dito pinanganak yung bata, frankly, even if they're not actually born in the United Kingdom, ipasok nyo, i-register nyo sa eskwela, no? They are obliged to register the child at a school, no? Kahit anuman ang status nyo po. And you'll find actually schools are very they're very pragmatic nga about it. The priority nila, of course, is yung bata, no? They don't want the child not to be in school, no? Regardless kung anong status ng mga magulang niya. Because of course, it's not in the child's best interest kung hindi siya mag-aaral nga dito.
Nangiti ako diyan eh. Parang nagkaroon ng idea sa mind ko. Pero in a way, parang that could also be a strategy of whoever, no? Pinoy or otherwise, na siguro nag-overstay sila rito, nagkaanak, tapos 10 years, yung bata pwede na kumuha ng registration, ng British passport. Ano naman mangyayari ng attorney yun? Would that be a good strategy or remedy for the parents eventually? Ano magiging susunod na hakbang? Okay, nakuha na ng registration, may British passport na yung bata. Parang baliktad na, yung bata na ngayon, parang may mga cases sa American ganyan eh. Nauna yung anak dati, pinanganak doon sa US, mga doktor to, tapos they had to go back home. Yung anak went to the States dahil, for her US passport and US citizenship niya. Eventually siya nakuha sa parents niya, papunta sa States. Pero doon, nung una, the father was in a parang educational council for foreign medical graduates. So doctors in the Philippines, they had this time to study in the States yata, no? Meron parang program nung araw. Nanganak, nabuntis, kasama misis, nanganak doon, naging citizen, parang ganon. Eto, andito na ngayon, registered na, may British passport na, anong susunod na gagawin?
Okay. So, I mean, before that, yung sinasabi mo, no, is that a strategy? I mean, I wouldn't call it a strategy. Look, unang-una, 10 years, no? 10 years dito na wala kayong status. I mean, that must be horrible, no? Na hindi ka pwedeng umuwi, hindi ka pwedeng kahit saan, hindi ka pwedeng magbakasyon. Employment, if you get it, then you're lucky. So siguro you can't get proper employment if at all. So you're always looking over your shoulder also. That's not 10 years is a long time to be in that kind of situation. So most of the people nga I come across it's a situation that simply happened to them. So sabihin natin nangyari na the child's born in the UK, 10 years na nga siya dito, becomes registered, becomes British. Now, you're quite right, Sonny, to ask the question. Dahil it doesn't mean kahit British na nga yung bata, hindi ibig sabihin na automatic na yung magulang, no? Because it could be, nasasabihin din ng Home Office, well, okay, the child is British, but the child can go back, no, to the Philippines, sabihin natin, kasama magulang niya, dahil doon may bahay sila, na meron silang mga kamag-anak pa rin nga doon, and they can work in the Philippines, and because of that, although hindi namin kukunin nga ibabalik yung citizenship ng bata, the child can be British, but the child can live in the Philippines because we think it would be in the child's best interest to live with the parents, and the parents do not have leave to remain in the UK, no? So I've certainly seen the Home Office, and certainly have dealt with the Home Office where they have reasoned exactly that in refusing a client's application, the parent's application to remain in the United Kingdom. Now, if they do that, kung yung situation nyo, I would urge you to appeal it. And you should really get a right of appeal because there would be human rights aspects nga with that kind of application. Because kung nandito na nga yung anak nyo for 10 years, dito siya pinanganak 10 years na, it is highly unlikely that a court will say it would be in his best interest to be uprooted from the United Kingdom to go to a country which is really, the reality is alien to him, no? So kung 10 taon na dito siya pinanganak, dito na siya lumaki, dito siya nag-aaral, and then as I say, 10 years old na nga siya dito. The chances are, it could be na hindi siya marunong mag-Tagalog, kung hindi naman ginagamit sa bahay, no? Nandito lahat mga kaibigan niya, dito na siya nag-aral, no? So I think you have a very, very good chance of arguing and successfully arguing nga na to uproot a child from the United Kingdom to a country he does not know, no? Even though background nga ang parents Pinoy nga sila, it would not be in the child's best interest. And the Home Office, like all public authorities, are required to have regard to a child's best interest as primary consideration. So I think they will have a problem justifying there to a tribunal that it's in a child's best interest to uproot him to return with the parents.
Okay, yan. So at least malinaw yan, no? Malinaw na yan. Ano ba yan?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Ito,
it's,
baka quick one lang. No? Okay, hindi tayo nakapagpaalam kagad. Pero ito, may question. Hindi, okay. Batiin ko lang ito sa ano. May attorney, ano tayo, yung ating programa, hindi lang pang UK, pang Europe pa, no? Look at this, pagbati mula kay Idol Shiri, no? Si Idol Shiri bumabati sa atin. Yan, taga saan yan? Basahin mo, attorney.
Oh, okay. So, Idol Shiri. Gandang gabi po, Sir Sonny and attorney. Watching from Hungary. My goodness, I think first viewer natin galing sa Hungary, you know?
Kailan? Last time o ngayon?
Ate?
Before?
Ngayon, I think. We have viewers from Hungary.
From attorney. She is from, hindi, ano yun? Ano mang lugar yun? Anong lugar yun? Teka muna, balikan ko. Teka muna, asan na ba yun? Alam ko, ibang bansa yun eh. Yeah, you're right. Teka muna, asan na ba yun? Baka nakita ko sa kabila siguro. Kasi nga, nakakalat sila eh, no? Tama ka, I think it's,
Yeah.
I know, you ano nga eh. Ano sana nga yun? Taga saan ba yun? Nakakatuwa naman to. Hindi, well, nakakatuwa lang kasi they're watching us from different parts of the... meron Sardinia. May Sardinia, Italy, meron pa bang kanina pa? Iba-ibang ano. No? So, mabuhay kayo. Anyway, so yan, sabi niya lang, ano ba sabi niya?
So sabi po niya, no, gandang gabi po. Watching from Hungary, no.
Mabuhay,
Hello po.
si Idol. Okay. Nawala na yung aking mga ano. Ito, attorney, itong ano, si Lorraine Canto, sabi niya, 10 years old na po ba ang bata? You mean po na wala po na po yung 7 years? Di po ba? Ano yung 7 years? Meron ba 7 years dati?
Yeah, meron pong 7 years. No, hindi po yung ibig ko sabihin, Ms. Canto. So, the 10-year po is to get to the registration and therefore British na, no? Yung 7 years po, that's really one of the exceptions nga din. So, kailangan yung pakita that a child has been in the United Kingdom a minimum of 7 years, so doesn't have to be born in the UK, and it would be unreasonable to expect the child to leave the United Kingdom, no? So the 7 years, no, and nandun pa po yun, yung 7 years, but it's a different route nga. What I also encounter often nga is dito pinanganak yung bata, tapos 7 na din yung bata, no? And we can then make use of the 7-year route, no, in relation to children, to apply for regularization of everyone. Hindi nga lang yung bata, yung magulang nga din. But on top of that, 3 years later, the child can actually apply to become British, no, for registration and then become British. So hindi po nawawala. So it's nandun pa rin po, yung nga lang, the 10 years is something else.
Ayun. Well, going back to sa 10 years, gusto ko lang i-hammer in o i-emphasize o yung sinasabi mo na magiging normal na parang not really a defense or rejection or yung parang unang isasabihin ng Home Office is ayan, baka pwedeng pauwiin yan, no? Di ba, ganun, parang pauwi na yan, dahil may family sa Pilipinas, and so on and so forth. Pero sabi mo nga, i-appeal nyo. Kasi yung judge, mas kakatigan yung bata na hindi approve dito, no? At, dahil hindi, dito na lumaki. Dito na yung surroundings, English, at lahat, nasanay na i-approve mo papupunta sa Pilipinas. Baka manibago, matraumatize, lahat, and so on and so forth. So, initial sasagutin ng home office, i-reject ka agad, gano'n ba? Parang di ba?
Yeah.
So pero i-appeal nyo dahil may chances sa judge baka sakali, no? Mas malakas ang chance na.
Yeah. Tamang-tama ka, Sonny. And that yung irrational actually also applies to potentially to the 7-year route, no? So, kung 7 years na nga yung bata dito, kahit hindi nga siya pinanganak dito, so sabihin natin, dumating dito yung bata, 3 years old na, no? 7 years later, 10 taon na yung bata. In the last 7 years, dito siya nag-aral, dito na nga siya lumaki, baka hindi na siya marunong mag-Tagalog. So, same thing as under the 10-year route, if you like, no? So, in that case, you have a good chance nga na you able to convince a judge that actually it would not be in that child's best interest. Yung sinasabi mo nga, Sonny, definitely you have a fair to good chance of certainly arguing successfully that it would not be in the child's best interest. And as you point out, no, it has to be the court's primary consideration is a child's best interest. So kung yung pong mga kaso nyo na may mga bata, no, make sure talagang pakita nyo, give them documents in support na dito nga siya pinanganak, kung dito siya pinanganak. So, I mean, that's easy enough, birth certificate or school reports, no? Kung yung bata ay magaling sa or enjoys, say, maths or music, no? Put that forward because, of course, dito na sila sanay. This is where they have grown up, and emphasize that, no? It would not be in the child's best interest for that child to be removed from the UK because. Tapos lista niyo po yung mga rason. Hindi siya marunong mag-Tagalog na, dito lahat mga kaibigan niya, ewan ko meron kayong mga kamag-anak dito, close siya sa lola o lolo niya. So, emphasize the best interest because that is, and the home office anyway, of course, should look at that. Pero kung hindi niyo po sasabihin, then they won't know it and they won't ask for it. No? So it's for you to make out your case. And if it's still refused, despite all that, despite all your effort, you have a better chance then of succeeding on an appeal. Dahil sinabi nyo na sa home office, hindi nga lang nilang tinig ng maigi. And you can certainly tell the judge that.
Okay, wow. Okay, all right. So, ayan, at least naliwanagan kayo, no? So, pwede pang no? Pwede pang, yun nga, i-reason out. Pero when you reason out doon sa kanila, hindi mo naman sinasabing they will reason out on themselves, no? All on themselves, no? Leave them to their own devices. Yan is via the help of a solicitor. Pag nandun ba sila, kunyari, nag-appeal sila, can they do it simply on their own? Would they know what to do? They wouldn't, right? Somebody has to advise them properly on what are the best things to do, what to best write in their, yung reasons nila doon sa appeal nila, no? Di ba? Kakayanin ba nila on their own or they need somebody like you, for example?
Well, I mean, I always say to people, look, if you're confident and alam mo ginagawa mo and you can't afford nga legal assistance or you think that it's something nga you want to do, of course, you can take steps now to do that. Make sure that you have evidence and you follow nga the process. Now, solicitors like me nga, we can be quite useful in that unang-una, we should know the law, no? And so, kung ano man ang ipapasok namin, papasok ng solicitor nyo, it should aim towards explaining to the Home Office in an application and certainly to a judge po, no? Na you satisfy the relevant rules, and because that's why we're there, no? So if you're arguing the 7-year route to do with that it's unreasonable to expect the child to leave the United Kingdom, then your solicitor, you should get advice to satisfy that. So it could be statements nga, the focus of the statement, because sometimes emotional statements, if I can call them that, no, are not always useful, no, because it's one thing to say, it would be heartbreaking and on, and that's probably the case, but you need to be able to show facts, and sometimes it's easier for solicitors to prepare that because, of course, they should not be emotionally involved, and they should be focusing on the legal requirements. Ano bang kailangan pakita in order to win the appeal? And that's really why you would want a solicitor to guide you, yung sa batas, because I think that's important that you're able to focus. Sorry, Sonny, hindi ka namin marinig.
Oh, at saka wag yung mga haka-haka lang, yung dinig-dinig na, nadinig ko sa kakilala, ganito, ganyan, no? You have to be properly advised, no? Properly advised. Kinakausap ako ng aking telepono, si Siri. Siri ba? Siri. Okay. Si Mark Vidal Natal, watching from Fulham, enjoying your show. Sabi niya, no? Thank you. Si May Tigbaw, teka muna, hindi ko na i-flash yung kay, sorry. Baka at least ma-flash natin, no? So, ito si May Tigbaw, ayan. And then sabi niya, good evening. Si Mark Vidal Natal, ito, ayan, sabi niya, watching from Fulham. Malapit lang sa atin. Enjoying your show.
Yeah.
Oh, malapit lang, Fulham. Ito, sabi ni Lorraine Cantos, okay, very clear po. Siguro, very big help po for our friends here. Salamat po. And tapos sabi niya, I will recommend you, attorney, in behalf of my fellow friends here whom need your advice po. Thank you so much po. Ayan, I'm reading as is, no? Kung ano yung nakasulat. Okay, so thank you. Thank you, Lorraine, no?
Salamat
And
po.
si Idol Sherry, masarap pala po palang manood dito kaya kasi marami kaming pwedeng matutunan. Lalo sa batas ng EU, ba? Okay. Mabuhay
Salamat
ka.
po.
Mabuhay ka as Idol Sherry. Okay, well, ayun, no? Sabi ni Lorraine, she would recommend you sa mga friends niya, no? So thank you very much sa inyong sa mga kind words, good words, and everything. But let me just tell you guys na if you next time, dito na ho kayo, pumunta na ho kayo sa Facebook page ng Filipino TV Europe, and if you want mas malinaw na tawag dito, attorney, yung mas maliwanag na video, kamukha ng ginagawa ni pangalan ng ating kaibigan si
Mr. Duay.
Dito lang ho kayo. Ito, punta lang kayo kunyari sa YouTube. Ito, tina-type na natin, napakita natin. Kunyari, YouTube, yan. Tama ba yung YouTube? Ayan. Pag-type nyo ho ng ganyan na YouTube, i-type nyo lang ho yung Filipino TV Europe. Tama ba yun? Mali yata yung spelling. Europe. Ayan. And then, ayan. Ayan, ito na ho. Ito ang Filipino TV. Yan ang Filipino TV Europe ho. So you can also watch us on YouTube and on, ano ba to? Uy, saan na ba yan? Ayan, sa Facebook page. So, I guess it's time na magpapaalam na ho tayo, no? At medyo si MM Giling, nakikita ko nanonood pero hindi nag-message eh. MM Giling.
Oh.
Oo, ang dami niyang beses
Miss
nanonood
Giling,
sa atin.
you have to type in for next week po, Filipino TV Europe, no?
Oo, yeah. Oo, Miss Giling. Pero nanonood siya. She's watching us, no? Si Miss Giling. Nakikita natin. Okay. Well, attorney, paano ba? Saan ka ba nila pwedeng ma-contact? How do they contact you, no? For people who'd like to, ayan, siguro, attorney, no? Ito, saan ka nila pwedeng ma-contact?
So, okay po. So, kung gusto niyo akong tawagan, just to also to clarify any points that we've discussed nga today. Telephone number po namin 0203-375-0325. Sa opisina po 'yon. We're open 9 to 5:30 on Thursdays like today. We're open till 7, no? Now, kung gusto niyo akong kontakin, again for me to elaborate o kayong meron kayong question, nahihiya nga lang kayong tanungin nga kami ngayon, by all means email me po. So, CABATBAT yung apelido ko po, at Douglas, Douglas, tapos -simon.com. Lagay nyo nga lang please dun sa subject, no, Immigration Corner, no? That way, sometimes nga, binubuksan ko yung email ko, I can't reply there, and then pagka sinarado ko, I can never find the emails again. So if you could just put in the subject, please, Immigration Corner, and at a quieter time, I can then search for the subject so I can get back to you. Pagka mag-email po kayo, lagay nyo, please, yung telephone number nyo, because sometimes it's just easier for me to call you. And I'm happy certainly to do that. So kung meron kayong mga questions, don't be shy, no? Kung meron kayong problema, rather than not doing anything about it, o kaya, listening to chismis, mga ganoon, please call me, and I'm happy to point you in the right direction.
Tama, okay. So imbes na yung mga alam mo mga Pilipino mahusay sa sa advice may husay kaya sakit ng ngipin ko, ganito gawin mo, untog mo yung ulo mo, kaya tumalong ka sa dagat, ganun ba, maraming advice o di ba, yung mga Pinoy mahusay, okay lang naman yun, that's natural. Pero in terms of things that are sabi nga nila, ang immigration parang para ka nanalo sa lottery, di ba? Sinasabi natin pagka di ba, parang yung kaba ninyo na baka hindi ma-aprobahan, baka ma-deny and so on and so forth, ma-refuse, di ba? Parang you feel na pagka na-regularize, na-naturalize or whatever yung papel ninyo, parang wow, you could do anything, parang you could do anything. Kung sinasabi lang the American dream, parang the British dream, parang gano'n siguro, di ba? Magsipag lang kayo magtrabaho.
And tama ka.
Di ba? And
you can do anything.
It's a ticket. Well, it's a door towards an opening to success in a way, di ba? Yun ang iniisip nyo. Kaya kayo nagpapakasiksik o pumupunta rito at gumagawa ng discarding ma-regularize yung status is because you're thinking your family back home of a good life na for the family at sa sarili mo rin, di ba? Na iniisip mo, dito mo makukuha sa bansa na to. At totoo naman.
Tama ka, Sonny.
Kung mahusay ka, no? Attorney, ito yung mga pagbating pahuli ng mga tao. Ito, si Felix Escalona, sabi niya, ang bilis ng oras till next Thursday. And naulit, God bless to you both, to both of you. Yan. Hindi, talaga pag you're enjoying is, mabilis ang oras, Attorney, no? Ayan. Yan. Okay ka ba, Attorney? Yung earpiece,
sorry. The problem with live is, things like, it's okay.
Hindi, okay lang yan.
My earpiece.
That's the nicest thing din about live. At saka, they see us as we are lang. Natural. This is, parang we're having a chat, but it's informative. Okay. May Tigbao, Vargas says, good evening po and God bless. Ito naman yung, siguro nakagat niya ang dila niya. So, yan. Si MM Giling, Hi po, Sir Sonny and Ma'am. Happy Thursday. Good night po. Yan, okay. I guess magpapaalam na tayo, no? Attorney, sige, magpaalam na. Baka may shout-outs ka or any messages o baka kung meron kang preview of next week's discussion. Pero hindi. Let us know within the week na lang, no? So, Attorney, shout-outs or any messages before we say good night?
Thank you po, for watching us and keeping us company on a happy Thursday. Now, kung meron po kayong mga topic na gusto nyong i-tackle natin for next week, look, just email me, and I'm more than happy certainly to tackle it. Now, at the same time, kung meron kayong mga question, nahihiya nga kayo mag-email sa amin nga ngayon, by all means, email me. As I've said, lagay nyo nga lang please Immigration Corner. So, and I'm more than happy to try and assist po, no? But as usual nga, Sonny, look, it is truly an honor, no, to be able to hopefully assist people. But I really enjoy Thursday. It is truly, yung sinasabi natin, happy Thursday. It truly is sa akin. I look forward to Thursday. For me, it's truly a happy Thursday. So I look forward to next Thursday.
Well, of course, we look forward to seeing you as well, no? Because without you, what is the sense of being here? It's just me. What am I don't know how to talk about immigration. So, you're a very, parang as an ingredient, very important ingredient in how people are having this happy Thursday. Si Susan Francisca Patumbakal sabi lang, thank you all po. See you next week. Good night. Ayan. Good night din, no? So, I guess, magpapaalam na ho kami, no? Maraming salamat ho sa inyong pagsubaybay dito sa ating programa. And thank you very much, like we always say, kami ni Attorney, for welcoming us into your homes, no? Nandiyan kayo sa mga tahanan. Kami nasa tahanan ninyo. We are touching you. We are keeping you company. Parang nasa loob na rin ho kami ng mga tahanan nyo or wherever you are, no? Kung saan ho kayo nanonood. Thank you very much for making our Thursday happy. And hope, you'd always be there and share it to friends, no? Hindi naman ho siguro napakahirap i-share ito, no? It's just a click of a button, a click of whatever it is, no? And just watch us, no? Tell your friends about it. YouTube and Facebook page. So sa ngalan ho ni Attorney Lira Simon CABATBAT, no? Ito po si Sonny Laragang nagsasabing na maraming salamat po sa inyong pagsubaybay and be with us again next week when we do another Happy Thursday Immigration Corner. So till then, Sonny here with Attorney Lira saying good night, take care, and God bless. So bye. Tama ba? Bye. Tama ba, Attorney? Bye. Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Sleep tight. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Yes.
Yan.
Good night po.